Hey everybody, thanks for coming and fishing with me today. Man, look at the sky up there on this morning. Oh, look, trying to go after this suspended fish right. Yep, there he goes. He was hanging out right over that timber down there, that standing timber. Early summer fishing right here. Um, and this is actually from a few months ago. This is from late March, I believe. And the fish are still, we're kind of all over. Some are in post spawn, some were still spawning in late March. Um, but man, it was a fun day out here. Look, here's some more suspended fish. You can see the ones I'm going for down there, right around 10 or 15 feet away, right around 9 feet deep. He looked up. There he goes. He's chasing. Got him. Now, one thing I want to point out in this video is I want you guys to pay attention to my transducer pole up there. And the transducer pole is how I aim the transducer. You know, it's got a handle on it, but you can see if you watch it on this catch in particular, I'm not reaching up and grabbing it with my hand anymore. You see it moving around by itself. It seems like I have made a little gadget that lets me move the transducer pole with my foot. And I love it. I don't go out without this thing anymore. I don't like to anyway. Oh, look at that one. He was out there. Yeah, I'm always proud of those casts, right? That fish was 40 or 45 feet away. And if you have LiveScope, you know how good it feels to be able to pitch a very tiny jig and get it exactly where you want it to go at 40 or 50 feet away on these fish's heads. It's a real good feeling whenever you get that down. If any of you guys get it down where you can do better than one out of every 2 or 3 casts, you let me know what the trick is, because I I still can't get it aside from every one out of 2 or 1 out of 3. Okay, this is a good example, this catch right here, of that transducer pole. So watch this. The boat, you can watch the boat shift to the left, right? And so I keep losing track of my jig because the boat's moving. And so I have to move that transducer to keep my aim on the jig. Well, I lost the fish moved, but because I can move that transducer pole with my foot, I can just keep tracking the jig even if the boat, which is now shifted like 90 degrees, I don't have to take my hand off of my reel. I can keep reeling. Oh, that fish came out of that brush pile down there. He snapped it up. So I cannot tell you guys how useful this is, especially on days like this. There wasn't much wind out here, and you know, if you use spot lock's great. It'll keep the boat pointed in a great direction, you know, wherever you want it to point to. But if there's not much wind or the wind is gusty, the boat, you know, the bow of your boat is going to move. Oh, he didn't wait at all. As soon as he saw it, he snapped it. Man, this was a good day of fishing. I think I got 26 or something, and they were kind of all, it was a very diverse day of fishing, right? So you guys see I'm starting out in this deeper water catching these suspended fish, but I pushed in to the shallows at some point and caught them shallow also. It was just, they were all over the place today. And so here I am, I'm pushing in a little more. So now we're in 12 foot of water, and you see that little piece of structure down there. Yeah, jigs are coming down. There he is. That's the one that I saw. That one right there. But this structure held a lot more fish than just this one. That's the one I noticed when I pulled up to it. I said, oh, there's a fish under that little, whatever, that's the little log that's hanging over that. And that's a good crappie. But there were a lot more all around it. Look, you can see them kind of milling around, you know, outside of it and under it. And so I kept casting around this thing. I pulled a lot of fish off this structure right here that were around it. And again, you see that transducer pole just bumping around. That's me with my foot just kind of rolling it on this little gadget I made. Now, I made another video that shows you how it works if anybody's interested in it or has any thoughts on it. Oh, that's a good fish. You can see him stretching out when I started pulling him in. Yeah, that's a great fish. They were all pretty good today. I think I only had to throw back a few, and a catfish or two I think I threw back. But the Gadget, I've been working on it for like a year, and that's kind of why I haven't been putting out as many videos. I've been spending more time working on this thing that's hopefully going to let me fish more effectively out, in the water. And I'm not an engineer, or I'm just a fisherman, and all I wanted was the same. Oh, I'm coming under the structure again. So there he is. I didn't see that fish, right? So I just knew that there were more fish in there. Like you could kind of see a little bit of movement, a little flash here and there. And so when you start knowing that it's holding fish, a lot of times you can just drag your jig around it. Something's going to jump out, something that you may not see right now. Same thing here. Like, I'm not targeting a specific fish on this structure right now. I saw some fish out there. That's what I'm going after. Those fish that were past it. But I just know that there's more fish on this. Well, I see one right now. You see him kind of coming off of it. But you can see movement on it. Just bring your jig past it, and there he is. Something's gonna jump out and grab it. So just fish around the structure, just like we used to before this tech came out. You find structure, you fish the structure, you're gonna find the fish. This just changed the game where you can actually guide your jig right into it. But again, I'm not an engineer, and so that little thing I made, all I wanted was the same functionality that we used to have. Oh, there's two of them. Man, those suspended fish were so aggressive today. But all I wanted was the same functionality I had with those cable steer trolling motors that we used for 40 years. I knew there had to be a way to clamp something on and make something work with our transducer poles, right? There's nothing on the market that did it. There were like a few poles that had electronics built into them to do it. They were crazy expensive. And so I said, man, there's got to be a cheap way. And so that's what I went to work doing it. I do have some CAD experience and 3D printing experience. So I built some stuff, and I made a relatively inexpensive thing that just lets you, move a thing with your foot. And that was a big one. He came off the middle of that thing. But anyway, it lets you move a thing with your foot. That thing moves the pole. It's real easy. It clamps on at just about any pole you could have. It's easy to put on and take off. Anyway, I'm really pleased with it. I've been working on it for like a year, and I finally bit the bullet and reached out to like a patent attorney and did all the work and filed the patent and all that. So now it's a patent pending thing, and I'm gonna try and make it, sell it, which is a first for me. I'm not a business guy or anything like that. I'm just a fisherman. But that's not a crowd. He came off the bottom. I know better than that. And this is one thing on Lake Darbonne that I have to talk with everybody that comes out with me. Anybody that comes in the boat, they always want to go after those bottom fish. And maybe a lot of you guys can do better than me. All the bottom fish, I swear, like half or maybe 2/3 of the time, it winds up being a drum or a catfish for me. And look how shallow we are now. This is like 8 feet of water, 7 feet. So these fish were really everywhere today. They were suspended. They were on structure out mid-depth, and they were in 7 feet of water in spawn mode. Late March, early April. This is just kind of where they just scattered everywhere. We're getting in the summer months now, so they'll be a little more predictable. At least on Darbonne, they'll be out in the flats, suspended, or on brush piles and whatnot. But there's a lot of fish. These are on beds. These are crappie that are on beds right there. Here comes one. He came off. So that's 8 feet of water. That's a crappie bed, and you can see them all milling around the beds. They're in spawn mode right there. That's fun to watch because you can watch those males just attacking each other in early spring when they get like that. But I know I talked a lot about this little gadget I made. I've been really excited to talk about it because I couldn't until now. I had to wait until the patent was filed and all that to be able to even discuss it. But if any of you guys are at all interested in it, I don't have it ready for sale or anything right now. I've still got you know, half a dozen prototypes sitting around my garage as I continue to make it better. Eh, that's a big fish, whatever that is. Is that a crappie? Man, that's a big one. Good night. That's the last one on this video. That crappie right there. That's a big one to end on too. Good night. But again, like I said, I'm really excited about the thing, the clamp on transducer foot turn device. I don't have a name for it or anything like that yet. But I am really excited to be able to talk about it finally. And this is not me just blowing smoke. I really do love it. I really hate if I take it out and I make an adjustment to it or something, and it breaks on me while I'm out there, or what. I've had that happen a couple of times. I do miss it every time that happens, but I haven't had that happen in a long time. And so I finally got it good enough to where I'm gonna try and actually start making it. Take it to some manufacturers and make a few for a test run. If anybody wants to be in the test run, you let me know. Reach out in the comments, and we can work something out. I don't have anything worked out yet as far as payment, shipping, none of it. So I've got a lot of work to do to get ready for this. But I appreciate y'all watching, and hopefully I'll be releasing a lot more fishing videos now that I'm not as concentrated on getting this thing released and patented. Thanks, everybody. Bye, y'all.